Jeffrey Kuhner. He is host of easily one of the fastest growing radio talk shows in the entire nation, and will soon be nationwide, so everybody can hear what we get to hear. The Jeff Kuhner Show is at WTNT 570 from noon to 3. You need to start listening to it. He calls himself the last honest man in Washington, and he means everybody besides all of us here, of course. Besides radio, he writes my favorite opinion column every Friday in the Washington Times, so start subscribing. He's written for Human Events, National Review, Investors Business Daily. He's president of the Edmund Burke Institute for American Renewal, a Washington, D.C. organization devoted to integrating minorities into the conservative movement. He is a fill-in for the Savage Nation and Jerry Doyle Show until they start filling in for him soon. I'm pretty sure he doesn't sleep. He was born in Montreal, the part of Canada we tried to annex during the War of 1812. And he taught American history at McGill University, which means he knows more about our great heritage than many of our Americans. Please welcome Jeff Kuhner.
Thank you, Ed, for that very, very wonderful, gracious introduction. I want to thank all of you for coming out today. I'm just stunned there are so many people here. There truly are still great patriots in America left. There's no doubt about it. You know, my friends, as you know, I do a regular talk show host, I'm a talk show host. I write a column for the Washington Times. And so I get around. I do a lot of events like this across the country. And people sort of ask me, what is the defining essence of Barack Obama? If you were to define his presidency, what is the defining essence? To me, it comes down to two words. I'm sorry. If you notice, he's our apologist in chief. Everywhere he goes, he's in Europe, he apologizes for American arrogance. In the Middle East, he apologizes to the Muslim world for our imperialism. In China, he apologizes for our prosperity. But I have news for our dear comrade. I have news for our comrade in chief. The people he should really be sorry to are the American people for bankrupting this nation. And there's another word that comes to mind when I think of Barack Obama. I think of the word bow, our bower-in-chief. If you notice, it's like a reflex action with him. He goes to Saudi Arabia, he meets King Abdullah, he bows. He goes to see the Emperor of Japan, he bows. Just a couple days ago, he's meeting Chinese President Hu Jintao after all the criticism he's received for bowing to foreign leaders. What does our dear leader do? He bows. He's almost licking his boots, he's bowing so low. But the people he needs to bow to are not the Emperor of China or Japan or the princes and kings of the Middle East, but it is to the American people he needs to bow to. And people often ask me, Jeff, what is it with you and Obama? Why can't we all just get along and, just get along, like Rodney King said? Why don't we all just embrace peace, hope, change? Because the change that Obama wants is not the change that the American people voted for in 2008. What he told us, and what his cronies in the liberal media told us, was that this man was a pragmatic centrist, a moderate. Remember what he said? Under my watch, there is no red America or blue America. There's just post-partisan America. Well, what have we gotten instead? We've gotten a radical socialist in the White House who is bankrupting this country day by day, hour by hour, week by week. And if there's one statistic I want all of you to remember, to me, it is the most dangerous and revealing statistic about Barack Hussein Obama. He's now found his inner Muslim. Have you noticed that? When he went to the Muslim world, suddenly before, when you said Barack Hussein Obama, the liberal media would say, oh, racist, Islamophobic, bigoted. But in front of the sheiks, in front of the Arab street, he said, no, I was taught the Quran when I was young in Indonesia. My middle name is Hussein. I've embraced my inner Muslim. But I have news for our comrade-in-chief. What he is doing to the United States is what Arab dictatorships have been doing to their countries for years, implementing failed socialist policies that lead to one thing and one thing only: national ruin and disaster. And so what is the most stark statistic about Barack Obama and his administration? It is this. And it is the one statistic that the liberal media cannot refute. I know it because I debate them over and over again across the city. When I mention this statistic, literally, they get apoplectic. I swear, I think they're going to get a heart attack on the spot. I want to have an ambulance person beside me. Take him to the hospital before he drops dead. It's this statistic. In the first 3 years of Obama's administration, by his own numbers, his own budget office numbers, he will have accumulated $3.7 trillion to our national debt. $3.7 trillion. That is more in 3 years than our nation has amassed for 225 years of our history. He's doing in 3 years what it took us 225 years to add to the debt. Now, my friends, if that is not mortgaging the futures of our children and our grandchildren, what is? He's nationalized the banks. He's nationalized the financial sector. He's nationalized the automakers. He's nationalized 1/6 of our economy through healthcare. Now he's taken over the college student loan. But it's not enough for our dear leader. No, 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 no. He's just getting warmed up. Now they want to pass cap and trade. Now they want all of the economy under the federal government's control. Now they want to take over all the financial institutions. And the final pillar in Obama's socialist revolution, what they are openly talking about on Capitol Hill, brazenly, unapologetically, is to give amnesty to 20 million illegal immigrants. Why? So they can expand the voting rolls and be the shock troops of Obama's socialist revolution. Well, I have news for him. This stuff may play well with the New York Times. It may play well with the Washington Post, but it doesn't play well where it counts: the American people. As Ray, my producer, will say, I always go above and beyond my limit. He's always trying to cut me off. You know, he said, Jeff, you're going too long, you're going too